Good afternoon. Here is the national news from Baba Gbagede Imo Television. First, the headlines. Nigerian student en route for London dies in Cairo. Our gunmen killed Rivers DPO. Police. Akeredolu resumes, says I will be alive to complete my tenure. 15-year-old boy on death row writes governor requests speedy execution. Tragic altercation over food leads to wife's death. Husband arrested in Edo. And on sports, Sao Tome win will draw fans closer. Samuel Chikwueze. The news in detail. A Nigerian student's journey from Lagos to London on board Egypt Air took a tragic turn when she reportedly fell sick mid-flight and died in a hospital in Cairo. The family of the deceased, identified as Meshioye Remilekun Toyosi, is seeking answers and assistance in repatriating her remains to Nigeria. The ill-fated journey began on Monday as the lady departed the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, hoping to reach her destination in London. Meshioye's elder sister, Mrs. Olufumilayo Olani Alabi, while narrating what happened, said the family had tried to call the airline's customer care and all other phone details on their website, but no response all through Wednesday, and that when the call was answered, they quickly cut it. The regional manager in their London office made some calls on Thursday afternoon in her office to their Cairo office. She later informed us that Remy fell sick on the plane, and on landing in Cairo, they rushed her to the hospital in town when she later died. Efforts to obtain more information from her were not quite successful as to how she died. She said the Nigerian embassy had been informed and they were the words that should have contacted us. She later called the Nigerian consular, Mr. Saliu Agarza. Speaking further, she said she felt strongly that Egypt Air should have contacted the passengers next of kin instead of them struggling to get information, which the airlines was yet to provide as of press time. She added, we spoke to the Nigerian embassy in the person of Mrs. Saliu Agraza, who responded that Egypt Air only informed them on Tuesday that Remy was dead and added her over to them but did not give any other information or any contact of her relatives. Egypt Air further said only Agraza, being the Nigerian consular, would be able to write and demand what happened on the plane at the airport and request for all her things and documents that they have in their possession, including the CCTV footage in the plane and at the airports. The River State Police Command has vowed to track and prosecute gunmen who ambushed and killed one of its divisional police officers, Bako Angbashin, in Odumodu community, Ahoda, East local government area of the state on Friday night. The police said Angbashin led a team of operatives to raid some criminals' hideout in the area. While returning, gunmen suspected to be cultists ambushed them. The State Commissioner for Police, Emeka Nwoyi, said this is in a statement issued by the command spokesperson, Grace Eringe Koko, on Saturday morning and made available to newsmen. The information reported that a viral video surfaced on Friday night showing the moment the gunman displayed his mutilated body. Nwoyi explained that while the miscreant attacked the operatives, Agbashin's men retreated after running out of ammunition. The statement added that the DPO sustained fatal injuries and was captured by the gunmen, who took him away, leading to his death. The statement read, in an unfortunate incident on the evening of September 8, 2023, the DPO of Ahoda Division, SP Bako Angbashin, displayed exemplary courage during a mission to combat criminal activities in the Odumude area of Ahoda East local government area in River State. SP Bako Angbashin, alongside his dedicated team, embarked on a raid of a known criminal black spot in the region. The operation led to a pursuit of criminals from their concealed hideout. Tragically, as they were returning from this operation, they were ambushed by a significant number of criminals who opened fire on the brave officers. In the face of the adversity, SP Bako violently held his ground while his men, depleted of ammunition, made a tactical retreat. Regrettably, during this engagement, SP Bako sustained fatal injuries and one of his informants was also injured, currently receiving medical care for a gunshot wound. The police stated that operatives of the Nigerian Army were contacted for assistance but were unable to advance further into the bush due to what the statement described as extremely dark conditions within the dense bush. The criminal seized the body of SP Bako, forcing the remaining officers to return to their base for reinforcement. Efforts were made to rescue recover the DPO's body with assistance sought from the Army's team stationed at FOB base Etraco. However, the operation proved challenging due to the extremely dark conditions within the dense bush, the police said. While condoling with the family of Angbashin, the CP, however, vowed to bring the perpetrators to the act of justice. Our thoughts and condolences go out to the family of SP Bako, Angbashin, and all those affected by this distressing incident, the CP said. Edo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has resumed official duties 24 hours after he returned from 3 months medical vacation. The governor met with key stakeholders in Edo State at his residence in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, where he landed. Those he met with included members of the State House of Assembly, led by the Speaker, Right Honorable Oladiji Olamide, members of the State Executive Council, led by Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, National Assembly members, led by Senator Jide Ipinsagba, and members of the All Progressive Congress, APC State Working Committee, led by the Chairman, Engineer Adetimeyi. Youth groups, former local government chairmen, and members of the Foundation of Wives of Edo State officials also visited the governor in Ibadan. A statement by his chief press secretary, Richard Olatunde, said the governor formally handed over his resumption letter to Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Olamide, and also provided a copy to Ayedatiwa, who has been acting governor. The statement quoted Governor Akeredolu as saying, "I came back yesterday, and as you know, it was a long journey. I decided that I must meet with you today. God has answered our prayers, and we give him all the glory. So because we had to land here in the Bible first, I said I have to meet with House of Assembly members here. We are here and we are back. I'm back, and by God's grace, I will be alive to complete my full tenure in office. I want to tell you that I'm back and I will resume work immediately. This is my letter of resumption." The Speaker said the governor's return to the country was a prayer answered. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party in Edo State has criticized Akeredolu for going to his Ibadan residence after his 3 months medical vacation abroad. It said the action of the governor amounted to disrespecting the people of Edo State, who it said have been praying for his recovery. The Ondo PDP alleged that Governor Akeredolu has relocated his government and assembly state house to his Ibadan residence. Spokesman for the Ondo PDP, Kennedy Perete, in a statement said the First Lady Betty assumed the role of Akeredolu's media handlers as there was no official release about the governor's return. His first point of call should have been Edo State, where everybody prayed for his quick recovery and return to his duties. Instead, he headed for Ibadan and instructed all state cabinet members and state assemblymen to join him. This is very absurd and an insult on the sensibility of Edo State people. If Akeredolu had been certified fit to resume duties, let him notify the assembly accordingly to conclude the reminders of his tenure for which he has been barely tolerated, PDP said. But the All Progressive Congress said the PDP lacked regard for constructive criticism as an opposition party. It said the PDP was crude and reckless in its approach to issues. Spokesman for the Ondo APC, Alex Kalejaye, said the governor didn't invite anyone, but just party leaders felt the need to visit a leader that has done so much for the Sunshine State and welcome him back to Nigeria. I advised the PDP to be more alive to its responsibility and always come up with development-provoked criticism in the interest of Edo State, he said. Moving on to the north, 15-year-old Mustafa Abubakar of Cell 6 Unit 1, Cluster 2 at the Maiduguri Maximum Security Custodial Center in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, urged the governor to sign his death warrant quickly if his appeal for clemency would not materialize within a reasonable time frame. Abubakar was sentenced to death by hanging at age 14 after he was reportedly lured into a get-rich scheme through kidnapping for money led to the death of the hostage. The teenage boy, who is the youngest inmate at the facility, is on death row, awaiting execution at the facility along with 81 men and 2 women. In his letter, he lamented being prostituted, subjected to physical, mental, and unprotected sexual abuse from the older inmates and perverted warders. According to him, he would have committed suicide if not that his religion forbids it. In his letter dated September 4, 2023, addressed to Zulum, copied to Vice President Kashim Shettima, former Edo State governor, entitled A Plea for Clemency or Death, Abubakar wrote, "My name is Mustafa Abubakar. I'm a 15-year-old boy. We were sentenced to death by hanging when I was 14. Currently, I'm awaiting execution as an inmate on death row in Maiduguri Maximum Security Center, Edo State. Along with 81 men and 2 women, I am the youngest. In my youthful exuberance, I allowed greed and sheer stupidity on my path to be lured into a get-rich-quick scheme of kidnapping for money in order to buy a power bike. Unfortunately, not only did the plan backfire, it led to the untimely death of the hostage, a fellow human being who had medical complications without our knowledge at the time." Moving on to the next story. A disturbing incident unfolded in Edo State, resulting in the arrest of a 20-year-old man, Salim Anedu, for the alleged killing of his wife during a heated argument over food. This shocking episode underscores the devastating consequences of a domestic dispute gone terribly wrong. The arrest of Salemi Anedu came to light as he was paraded alongside other individuals apprehended for their alleged involvement in various criminal activities within the state. The Edo State Police Command spokesperson, SP Chidi Nwabuzo, shared details of the unfortunate incident that transpired on August 30th. According to SP Nwabuzo, the genesis of this tragic event occurred on August 29 when one Aluaye Momo reported to the police that a dispute between Salami Anedo and his wife Esther Friday, both 21 years old, escalated to a fatal outcome. The incident took place within the confines of their residence in Ugbekwe community, Edo State, and centered around a disagreement regarding family matters. During the altercation, the suspect Salami Anedo allegedly employed a wooden stick as a weapon, striking his wife during the course of their argument. Tragically, Esther Friday succumbed to her injuries, marking a heart-wrenching conclusion to their dispute. The police swiftly responded to the report and apprehended the suspect at the scene. Esther Friday's lifeless body was conveyed to Fuga General Hospital mortuary for the necessary procedures. In light of the gravity of the situation, the case has been transferred to the Homicide Section of the State Criminal Investigation Department, bidding for a thorough and discreet investigation to unravel the circumstances surrounding the tragic incident. In an interview with journalists, Salami Anedo provided his account of the event that unfolded. He explained that the dispute with his wife erupted when she refused to allow him to partake in the meal she had prepared, insisting that he should prepare his own food. Finally, on sports. Concerning the qualification of AFCON coming up tomorrow between Super Eagles of Nigeria and Sao Tome and Principe, the Eagles already qualified for the AFCON in 2024 and need a win to finish Group A as winner. It's always an amazing feeling to be in the Eagles team. The atmosphere in camp is great and every player is ready for the game. It is the first time in a while that I'm seeing players fight in training. It's a great feeling. On the game, the AC Milan winger Samuel Chukwueze will plan to win the game, which is very important that we win the game even if we have qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. I can't remember the last time we won a game at home in Nigeria. A win will draw our fans closer to the team as we prepare for the World Cup qualifiers in November. Chukwueze, who has made 3 substitute appearances for the Rossoneri since he joined from Villarreal in the summer, will be aiming to make his 29th appearance for the Eagles on Sunday. He has scored 4 times since he made his debut against Uganda in 2018. Kindly, as the story states, the materials in order for the preparation of the match comes up live tomorrow at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. Well, the sports story, we've come to the end of today's national news from Baba Bagede Imo Television. Some headlines. Nigerian student en route for London dies in Cairo. Our gunmen killed Rivers DPO, police. Akeredolu resumes, says I will be alive to complete my tenure. 15-year-old boy on death row, writes governor, requests speedy execution. Tragic altercation over food leads to wife's death. Husband arrested in Edo. Sao Tome win will draw fans closer. Samuel Chikwueze. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Gbagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Gbagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For other placement of your goods and services of your product, kindly call the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Moriri Rabila Lawa. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.